And so that academic piece where they learn their letters, they start learning sounds, the math, number sense, but also they're really ready to learn what it means to be a scholar in a school setting.
That is so exciting to hear all that great information about the MCP3 program, which is the Early Childhood Education Program for K-3 here at Milwaukee College Prep. And lastly, listen, this sounds fantastic for enrollment. If a family is interested in enrolling their child in K-3 or K-4, what should they do next?
The parent or guardian should visit our website and enroll. I encourage them to do so quickly as our seats are filling up. They can enroll on our website, mkeprep.com, or they could call 414-264-6007 to learn more about our programming.
Thank you for sharing all this great information today about Milwaukee College Prep, Allison.
Thank you. You're welcome, Kyle. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And this has been your Community Spotlight with Milwaukee College Prep right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A former Racine School staff member is headed to jail for sexually assaulting 2 students. Jamal Sanders, who worked at 21st Century Preparatory School, was sentenced Monday to 9 months in county jail and 3 years probation. Prosecutors say he inappropriately touched 2 12-year-old girls last year. He originally faced more serious charges but took a plea deal earlier this year, admitting to lesser counts of sexual assault and child abuse. He'll be allowed work release while serving his sentence. Milwaukee Public Schools has a new budget for next year. The school board Tuesday night approved the $1.5 billion spending plan for 2026. 2 board members initially voted against the budget plan, but changed their votes when the board's clerk noted that without their support, the budget would fail to pass. MPS Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casilia says more work will be done on the budget this fall.
We will come back in October again, which will give us more time to do additional work, see if there is additional resources that we can put into the budget. We've really taken into account as much listening as we could within the time frame that we had to put this budget together.
New legislation hopes to make Wisconsin a more attractive place for out-of-state residents to move to. A bill circulating in Madison would establish grants for talent recruitment programs to incentivize households from outside the state to relocate to Wisconsin. Republicans like Representative David Armstrong say the state's workforce retention issue is too big to ignore.
The latest numbers that I've seen show us with about a 200,000 person decrease in the state of Wisconsin over the next 20 years.
The program's source of funding remains in question. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Always want to remind you, you can stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Just make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And every time we're live, you will get a notification. Simple, straightforward, and straight to the point. Did he just say that? Something like that. Something like that. I don't know. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. You know what that means, right? That means somebody is logged into their Gmail on my account. So should I send an email to corporate? You no good, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, that'd be mean. I would never do that. I would never do. Are you insinuating I should do that? I've left my email logged in. You know, the thing that disturbed me is nobody logged me out. So, I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but, you know, I'm just saying. So, I have a question. I guess at this time I always have a question. And I want to preface it by saying that I've made some observations overnight based on some conversations I had with people. And it kind of bothered me. Okay, it didn't kind of bother me. It definitely bothered me. And as I thought about it, I looked at what other people say and listened to what other people say, and I found it a little bothersome. The question that came out of it is, how do you deal with the burden? And I call it a burden because sometimes it's bothersome. How do you deal with the burden of someone else's inability to deal with your talent? How do you deal with someone else? And I'm not talking about a hater, someone that doesn't know you. I'm talking about someone that does know you and throws in monkey wrenches to mess up your talent, whatever it may be. And I'm not talking talent like the arts, singing and dancing and stuff like that. I'm talking about you being who you are, the things you've accomplished, the things that you're good at, the things that you're winning at, the things you're working on, the ideas you have, the dreams you have. How do you deal with people? How do you deal with the burden that it puts on you in dealing with someone else's inability to deal with your greatness? Now, I've always been a person that, you say that or do that, I'm going to speak my mind. And people tend to assume they know you by virtue of how you speak your mind, which is actually not true. Saying something off the cuff and not thinking about it really doesn't give you insight, even though people think they kind of think it does. It really doesn't give you an insight into a person until they think it through and realize what the person is saying to them and respond. But that's not usually what happens. People usually get upset, shoot off at the mouth, scream and holler. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that, blah, 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 and go back and forth. Arguing about something that you clearly can't change, something you are phenomenal at, and something you can do without thinking. And it's usually those talents that are innate, the ability to speak,
to write, to sing, to dance, play an instrument. I was going to say play the piano, but that's just one. It can be burdensome to have to deal with the constant issue that someone else has with you being great. I thought about how do you deal with that with people? 833-212-1017. How do you deal with the burden of someone else's inability to deal with how great you are? You go to work, you got people throwing grenades in your way, poking holes in your work, saying how you're not worthy of the bonus or the promotion. How do you deal with that burden? Meanwhile, you have to get up every day, as I talked about before, have a positive outlook. Now, what precipitated all of this is I'm reading two books. One is written by a lawyer. It's a book. It's a work of fiction, written by a lawyer locally, and the book is set in Milwaukee and in the court system and all that. The other book I'm reading is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And it helped me remember and deal with how other people treat you. Ways to have strategy. Ways to defeat other people's onslaught. Because really, when you think about it, you're dealing with an army. There's an army of people that don't like you. There's an army of people that don't have your best interests at heart. It's like you're part of the team and all of a sudden you become the team leader. And now you have to deal with people truthfully, honestly. And when you do, all they do is bring up your past. Well, before you did this, or they start to leak those things that you thought were, confidential and between you and them. Your bestie, your BFF, your all that crap. And you find out that having those people around you is a burden. Having the words that you gave them and they repeat it to another person wears on you. It's a burden. Someone else doesn't have the ability to deal with how great you are. How do you deal with that? How do you respond? Do you go off? Do you get mad? Do you challenge them? I'm always of the adage, having worked in law enforcement, that if I have to remind you that I have a bar on my shoulder, I'm not in charge. If I have to remind you I'm a boss, I'm a sergeant or a lieutenant, I'm not in charge. If I have to show up at a scene as a police officer in uniform with a badge and a gun, and I got to tell you I'm the police, and you can see me, that's a problem. So I guess I can say it's a sign of weakness if you have to tell somebody else who you are. And I'm not talking about they don't know it, they can see it. So then how do you deal with that burden? Well, I figured out there's only one way to deal with it. It's the easiest way, it's the simplest way, and it's also the most difficult way. Because you really want to speak your mind. You really want to tell somebody, this is how I feel, this is what I'm thinking. And if you really want to go too far, tell them what you think of them. I've been victim of people going to management and saying, other places, well, I don't like him because he said, I overheard him say, and then management says, well, someone heard you say, I said, I'm not going to deal with someone saying I said something without you telling me who it was. Well, I'm not going to do that. Well, then we're not having this conversation. But why not? Be because you're accusing me of something, and I don't know the context of when I said it and where I said it. So if you tell me somebody overheard me say something, where was it? Where? And usually they back up. But what I learned, that's not the proper way. The proper way is so simple that when I thought about it, I went, it's interesting. But it's also the hardest way. To know you're in a space where you can speak to someone and tell the truth and be authentic and be transparent and let them know you're wrong and here's why. Or you can unload your burden by screaming and hollering. Or you can give them just one thing. Silence.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Truth Nation, are you looking for a fun opportunity to showcase your clothing line, restaurant, nonprofit organization, food truck, or small business? Well, look no further than doing it at our Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School. We are currently accepting vendor applications for our festival, and you don't want to miss out on this great opportunity to promote your business and be part of all the fun. To be a vendor at Truth Family Fest, visit truthfamilyfest.com and sign up today.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest, because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, June 19th to July 5th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Get tickets at summerfest.com.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is a journey into sound. This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value.
When all is ready, I throw this switch. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Pump that bass.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Yep, I just met people with silence. I just look at them. And it's weird because silence is a great thing to use when people are talking and saying something and you disagree with it. So you just sit there and look at them. Just don't even respond. Some things aren't worth it. Some things aren't worth it. Good afternoon, Kawanda. How are you? Who else is on the YouTube chat? JD. Y'all scary. Y'all be watching me when I don't even know I'm on YouTube. Woo. JD, you need to quit. You need to quit. Don't be falling for it, Kawanda. You're like, two of my favorite ladies. Good evening, nurse and not really a city girl. Come on, dude. Where's the picture? Show a picture of the person. That's what I want to know. And then Mr. Madi, all cuties, happy. You know you're not talking to me, right? All cuties. Wow. Wow. It's like they'll say hello to me and then start talking to each other. Mr. Madi said, you responsible for self. People will trick you to believe otherwise. JD said, when someone doesn't accept your genuine gift, I find it best to move on from that individual. Your accomplishments, character, and personality are gifts for you. You can't control other people's perceptions. Interesting. People live in the past. I'm good on them. Kwanda said, I can't dim my light to make others comfortable. I earn this glow through pain and healing. If it blinds you, look away. That's a problem. That's your problem, not mine. So catch up. Wow, y'all mean. I ain't mad at you, though. JD said, put some glasses on. This glow from regular facials and the grace of God. Find you some business. Y'all silly. You all are silly. Kwanda said, I don't and I never will, talking to Mr. Madi. However, silence is an answer in case some people fail to realize that. Why would you have to think about whether or not somebody realizes that? Just don't say anything. That's just me. JD said, if they in management, it's difficult to deal with boss who doesn't realize what you bring to the table. The horrible part is if it's blood family and friends who do the most hating. Yep, that's true. And the weird part is you'll never know, but they'll never agree with you. No, I don't think you should do that. No, I don't think you like, and it's like, wait, what? Now help me with this. Don't give everybody your energy. Why would you care? If you can, and I have issues with this whole, what we're calling all the things, right? You give people your energy. Those buzzwords. What did I call it? I called it, I heard the phrase and I actually wrote it down. Let me find it. It's called trending mind virus. Trending mind virus. People that follow all the trends, all the words. Oh, this is how we talk, right? But it's really not. It's not. Kwanda says she signed up for self-defense class and they also do range shooting, so I'm going to do it all in one place. Get a permit first. Get your license. Yeah. Somebody say, be careful with relatives and so-called family. Well, you can't pick your family. And you don't want to ostracize people, right? Yesterday we talked about friends. Do you really want to ostracize family? You know how to avoid family. You know how to go to 4th of July and Memorial Day and Labor Day and just kind of be in the background. You know how to do that. Why not? Everybody has family members. They go, oh, God, here come X. We gotta, right? You know, everybody has that. Everybody has that. Everybody has that person where they go, oh, it's them. But the problem is, why do you even bother to do that? 833-212-1017. Am I crazy? I probably shouldn't ask that because everybody's going to say yes. Am I crazy? Or is it part of my not really caring? But then that brings about an air of arrogance, an air of I'm larger than life. It also brings about the need to always have to have that buzz. Because people hollering at you gives you that same endorphin release that drugs do, that speeding does, passing somebody in a car. And that's what I think this whole crash thing around the city and reckless driving, it's the endorphin release that it gives you. It makes you feel good when you catch up to a car. You ever been on the highway and somebody was speeding behind you and they just kept speeding up and speeding up and speeding up so they could pass you? That's all they want to do, and then they feel good. And so I test it sometimes. They'll speed up and they'll get really close to me, and then I'll take off. And then they'll speed up and speed past me, and I'm like, really? I had somebody speed past me today. We got to the same red light. I was about 20 seconds behind them, and I was only one car length. I'm like, you did all this, burned all that gas, did all this screaming and driving and weaving around lanes to get one car length in front of me? 10 feet, all that. The things we do because of other people make no sense. But the flip side to that is when people are telling you this is what we want, and then you don't do it, that's a problem too. And so then how do you fix that? I was looking at an article on Politico. They said Democratic leadership, well, this said they're out of touch. They're beyond out of touch. And so how do you fix that? 833-212-1017 is the number. You got a question or comment about anything I'm talking about today? It just makes no sense. We worry about all the wrong things. And then when it comes time for you to be great, you worry about what other people think. Like, I just don't understand that. I don't understand. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
What I was going to say, when it comes to a burden, you don't worry about it. When it comes to a burden in people, you let them rock. Like a dead dog that got ran over on a rural road with his guts hanging out. You let them rock. Like a dead body sitting up in the morgue and the maggots is coming out their eyes, their nose, and their mouth. We get it. Okay? Because that's a you problem, not a me problem. So a burden, that's a burden they have to carry. Let them rock.
Yeah, but you still have to deal with it.
Simple.
But you still have to deal with people. Yeah, you do.
No, you don't, because once they are dead to you mentally, they're dead. So they have no effect. That's it. They say something stupid, okay, fine. You're dead to me. So I have no choice except let you rock. So when I see you, I see nothing but death.
So where's your humanity?
I don't need a hello. It ain't about having humanity. You said how to deal with a burden. Let them rock. Let somebody else deal with their burden. Even if they're crawling to you and their stomach is about to bust, let them rock. Damn humanity.
Are you like that with everybody?
They can take care of that on their own.
Are you like that with everybody?
I sure am.
Wow.
Yes, I am. I don't deal with burdens. I will let you rock.
So
on earth, and when you die, you're still gonna ride in the box.
So what does a person need to do?
Smile.
So what does a person need to do in order to get on your good side?
Well, if they get on my good side, they have to be about integrity and character. And if they lack in one or other, you're dead to me, and I have to let you rock.
So is that the integrity and character that you think they should have, or the integrity and character that's equal to what you have, or what?
No, that's just how I roll. If they have integrity and character, then I will welcome you.
No. You keep giving me words, but I want a definition. I want an example of what integrity would be.
Well, integrity is value of a person. of who they represent. Not a hypocrite or a person who says one thing or another, or you try to stab me in my back.
So if
you
I'm real,
stab me in my back, you're going to stab yourself, and I'm going
so if I'm
to let
real,
you out, and then here go another car accident. See? Hello?
So if I'm real and I'm transparent and I tell you how I feel and I'm direct, is that integrity and character?
Yes, if you're speaking from your heart. But if you're trying to stab me in my back and you're trying to tear me down, then I have to let you rot like a dead dog. That's the only way. And somebody else can build you up.
But what if somebody else tells you their truth and you disagree with their truth?
Well, their truth is their truth. It's not my truth, and it's not for me to care about their truth.
But what if it's
your
actually
truth is
true?
what you have to do.
But what if it's actually
well,
true?
then, hey, they have to deal with that. And then if I feel your burden is going to become my burden, I have to let you rot like a dead dog. Just like they let them people rot in that funeral home with no AC. Let them rot.
All right, thank you much.
Nobody cares about humanity. Let them rot.
All right.
That's what you got caskets for. Let them rot. Bye-bye.
Let them rot. Interesting. Interesting. So even if there are people I don't like I literally don't like them. Not I don't know them, but I literally know them and I don't like them. I don't like what they stand for. I don't like what they say. I don't like what they do. I'm not moved by them. They don't make me. But if they ask for help and it's legitimate, wouldn't you help them? And I'm not talking about somebody that stabbed you in your back. Because if that's the only criteria, you should be careful because people can silently destroy your life without ever saying or doing anything that you even know or that's overt. But when you actually have a person who needs help, a person that says, hey, Dr. Ken, can you help me? Wouldn't you at least, or Al, can you help me? Wouldn't you at least say something? You know, it just, what do you do? I don't know. Fonz, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hi, I'd like to say I really enjoy your show. Everything that you talk about is so prevalent in today's society. I would just like to say it begins with us teaching our kids, and what we learn. And we have to be better people. We have to aspire to be better as a community,
right?
And as a Black ethnic group, we have to try to be better because, like I have been listening to you and you saying, and that it's very important because when people of other ethnic groups see us, they don't. It's not an individual; it's a group that they see. And it's unfortunate when we don't carry ourselves with the pride that we should have as a community in Milwaukee.
So then why don't we?
I think, like I said, it's because of not being taught at home. Everything starts at home. I'm a paraprofessional, so I work for MPS.
Okay.
And the young people, I really had to inquire if they had lead poisoning because all of the signs exhibited lead poisoning.
Right.
They can't listen. They can't sit still. They're very behaviorally challenged.
Right.
Emotionally challenged. And like I've heard some of the orators on the program speak that, the fruit doesn't really fall far from the tree. So when we get these children and then you have these parents and they're like, well, okay, no, you can't say anything to my child. That's very detrimental When I grew up, I'm a 71 baby. So when I grew up, you could go down the street. You could get a plate of food to eat, but you also could be asked to take groceries to the porch. You could be asked to, you could be asked to do anything, and you could not refuse. And if you did, you would definitely be chastised. And we need that back in the community. Not, you can't say anything to my child. Because we're all responsible. I'm responsible for every child I interact with.
Nah, I'm not going to go that far. That's your job at work. I'm not. Yeah. Nah, because they too bad.
And no, because we can't look at it like that. Because if we
you can't.
Then,
you can't.
Well, we as a community can, because if we turn our back on them, that's the only future that we have.
I'm not saying turn my back on them, but I'm not going to be responsible for somebody else's kid. That makes no sense. You're telling us. You're telling us to be responsible. Right.
Yes.
You're telling us to be responsible for somebody else's kid, and they raised their kid wrong. So you're telling me to take on the burden of someone else's kid.
I guess maybe I should say to a certain extent.
But I think I totally agree with you 100% that if individual parents would just raise their children. But here's the problem, and I'm gonna ask you, what do you do about the parents when the parents were raised wrong?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. Society typically, like you said earlier about the race front, if you don't act right and your parents don't teach you right and you go down there, then there will be some friction. And usually as adults, we get that. Yeah. I mean, if we start on the wrong path, somewhere along the lines, something comes and shakes us up. Like, hey, you cannot act like that.
But what about when it doesn't? But what about when it doesn't?
Well, then, unfortunately, what happens is we end up doing long terms in detention facilities, prisons.
Okay.
Because it's very unfortunate, but it is what is really going on. I tell them every day. I worked at WCLL, and I tell them the relevance to that is we're within a stone's throw of at least 2 incarceration facilities. From where we're at, right at WCLL, right there on Highland. And I'm like, please pay attention. But I had 3rd graders. So, but I do believe that you have to. It has to be a repetitious thing.
Yep.
And like I told my child, you may not even listen to what I say. You may listen to your peers more than you listen to me. But understand there will be consequences to everything that you do. And it's detrimental for us because as a black man, then I'm a male. And so we have those 2 strikes against us. And if you go into situations and act like you don't know how to comprehend,
but wait. I got to challenge you on something.
Okay.
It's a strike against you by being male and black?
Yes.
Is that your mindset?
Yes, that is what society has shown me.
Well, I'm not talking about society.
Male,
I don't care what society says. Is that how you see it? Because that's going to dictate
what I think about myself. No, I don't think about myself that way, but I have been shown that society does think of me that way, according to the way that they've treated me.
Okay.
But I don't lean on that because I'm not a victim.
Okay.
I'm not a victim.
All right.
This is just what. You
just acknowledge the fact that you recognize that that's how people see black males.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it won't start to change until I was that parent. I went to my son's school every other day, but it was to promote education and with the understanding we are a team. If my son fails, I failed. If my son fails, not only did I fail and he failed, but you as a teacher, you're failing.
Right.
So I can't point a finger at you. We have to figure out how do we make it work. But you have to be a participating parent. And if you're not a participating parent, then you really don't have – it's hard for you to have anything to say.
All right.
Because you're not participating in a productive way.
All right.
If you're not participating in a productive way, then, I mean, you may have an opinion, but when it comes to those IEP reports, our personal opinion as parents don't matter.
All right.
They don't matter.
Okay.
You know, but I just want to say I really love your program. I wish everybody listened to you because what you talk about is relevant to what's going on with us as a community, what's going on as with us in the world today. And so I would definitely recommend everybody listen to Dr. Ken Harris.
All right. Thank you much, brother. I appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Well, we're starting off with an accident on northbound 4394 on the 9th Avenue on-ramp. Now, it looks like this one is just about ready to be cleared out of the way if it hasn't already. Just something to keep in mind. East and westbound on 94 heading past the stadium, yeah, it's going to be slow. Westbound slowing down from 25th Street all the way through the zoo interchange to the county line. On the eastbound side, we got some backups from 84th Street, pretty solid all the way through the stadium as well. And southbound 43 backing up from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, scattered showers and storms, patchy fog with a low of 63. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm and humid. Chance for showers and storms, a high of 82. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl Noni Juice from my friends at Steinhafels. And the deals are heating up during Steinhafels summer sale. Start with 10% off the entire store. I'm talking living room, bedroom, dining, and so much more. Make your new room more affordable with Steinhafels special financing, and you'll get a $100, $200, or $300 MasterCard to spend later. But you better hurry, because just like summer, these sizzling savings won't last long. The summer sale, only at Steinhafels and Steinhafels.com.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me. I am ASAP and Maya Angelou. I am Marva Collins and Frederick Douglass. From A to Z, I celebrate, emulate, and commemorate their example.
This is part of the Declaration of Excellence Milwaukee College Prep scholars recite not just during Black History Month, but each and every morning. Because our students don't just honor history, they're determined to shape it. Enroll your scholar for the 2025-26 school year at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkmylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Brewers and Pirates are tied at 1 game apiece heading into Wednesday's rubber match at American Family Field. Milwaukee dropped Game 1 on Monday 5-4. A big night from Pittsburgh's Nick Gonzalez and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who had a clutch triple. But the Brewers bounced back on Tuesday.
A sinker at the very top of the strike zone. Abner Uribe strikes out the side in a perfect 9th inning, and the Brewers have evened this series at a game apiece with a 9-3 final.
Joey Ortiz stole the show with his first career multi-homer game, finishing with 4 RBIs. The Brewers now sit at 44-36. The series finale begins at 1:10 p.m. The NBA draft begins Wednesday, running through Thursday. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Check the rock.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Time to upgrade your windows and or doors, but you don't want to spend a fortune. Well, if you need them, you might want to, because the weather just this week went from almost 100. Now it's under 65. It's supposed to storm tonight. Then it'll be back up to 90 by Saturday. Well, I got to tell you, Pella, the best in the business, the best in the industry, has a product line for every single budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan was to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments for up to 2 years. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends in 5 days, June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today. Just go to PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. And you're going to remember when you look up tomorrow, and if that wind and rain and flash flooding, and look up and windows are broken and missing and your doors coming off at the hinges, I should have went and got it. Yep. Just get it fixed. I think it was maybe 2-3 days after I got new garage doors. And weird stuff started happening, and I had to get out of the garage. And my old doors were wood, like old school 1, 2, 3 panel wood, heavy. So there's no way my kids or anybody or my spouse could actually open the door, right? Like, it looks like, oh yeah, you should be able to do this little latch thing and lift the door. Nah. I got some great decorative doors, and it worked out great. Don't be that person with windows missing. Could be walking past your house and go, man, X ain't fixed his house, and Dr. Ken ain't done his doors, and what's going on? You'd be like, yeah. But that's what happens, and so you got to be careful. Just go to PellaWI.com and check it out and see if they have anything for you. Get an in-home consultation and sit down, and 2 years from now, you'll start making payments and get it all paid off, and you'll be happy as, what they say, a pig in slop. You ever heard that one before? Happy as a pig in slop? He's looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, slop. No, that's what you say. I said slop. I'm not going to tell y'all what he said. I'm just saying. I didn't say it.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth has you covered with front-row access passes to the best concerts at Summerfest this year.
Tune in to all your favorite Truth shows every day so you do not miss your chance to win tickets and wristbands to see artists like Offset, Bossman D-Lo, Ira Star, T Grizzly, and so many more.
Do not miss your chance to see these artists up close and personal during Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking, in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget, and right now you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances. Yes to rebuilding credit. Yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with your credit specialist and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ready to join the fun? With Girl Scouts Extended Year Membership from Girl Scouts,
you can sign up by June 30th and get up to 18 months of adventure through September 30th, 2026.
Girls starting kindergarten or first grade in 2025 will also receive 3 Get Ready with Girl Scouts activity books,
featuring games, crafts, and stories the whole family will love, for free. Plus, you'll even get a special gift from the Girl Scouts. Join today and get ready to grow, explore, and shine with Girl Scouts.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
For general contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Now you finally pick one of my favorites. This song is so very poignant today. The World is a Ghetto by War. 833-212-1017 is the number. Is it going to get worse? I think it is in New York. Zohran Mamdani, who recently won the New York Democratic mayoral primary, is an idiot and a fool because he's a socialist. If you want to be a socialist, go to a socialist country. We live in a democratic republic. Nothing that he's trying to do will stand because the only people that can pay for it is the largest group of people in America. You know who those are? Middle class. So the stupidity of giving people free city buses, who's supposed to pay for it? Who pays for maintenance? Who pays for new ones? Who pays for buying it? Rent freeze. So you're going to crash the real estate market in New York before it's probably going to crash in the next year or two anyway. You want rent stabilized units so people can't make money. So when inflation goes up and it costs more to fix it, you can't make any money, so you actually lose money. He wants affordable housing, more affordable through various reforms and plans to build 200,000 new affordable housing units. You know what those are called? Concrete ghettos. Those are called, what are they called? Anybody? Projects. City-owned grocery stores. There is not a city in the world, did you hear what I say? Not America, not North America, the world, that runs anything efficiently. Why would you trust them to run a grocery store? He proposes creating city-owned grocery stores to offer lower prices. So who's going to pay for all this? There aren't enough billionaires. If you took all of the billionaires' money, it still wouldn't pay for all of this. But no, I'm not done. Free childcare. Time out. You don't want to keep your kids. Now you want to keep somebody else. This is stupid. Think about what you're doing. All the people that are in business for themselves, that are taking care of their families, the largest number of businesses in America are small businesses that make under $5 million a year. Some of them just want to make enough money to take care of their family, put their kids through college, sell it, give it to their family when they pass away. This will literally destroy the economy of New York because socialists are stupid. They think you can take from people who have and worked for it, the American dream, and give it to somebody else. And their lie around it is, well, the American dream isn't for everybody. Yeah, if you don't work, you won't. But just like Fonzo said, right? Oh, you got to do this and do that and all that. But then he flipped and said, yeah, but I take care of my kids and I got to do this and I got to do that. Because regardless of what society thinks about black males, if I know I'm great, I'm great. If I know I'm doing it, I'm doing it. If I'm taking care of myself, my family, my kids, my parents, I'm great. He wants to raise taxes to fund the initiatives on the top 1% of earners and corporations. Who do I hire if I'm paying the government money? This is just sheer stupid. Anybody that's a socialist is stupid. You're an idiot if you think I'm going to give you money I worked for and you didn't. Because now you're creating, you ready? Just like they did in Germany, just like they did in all the European countries, you create a permanent underclass. Soviet Union went under. Why? Permanent underclass. Cuba, permanent underclass. And so we've got 8 or 9 instances in the world where socialism didn't work, but yet idiots think it works. Here's my suggestion. If you don't like America, get out. Find a country and move. But if you want to go somewhere where you have an idea, like watch this. In socialism, if you have an idea, they take it from you and use it for everybody else. You don't get to start your own business. You don't get to build what you want. Because when you do, when you get a certain point, they're going to take your money. What's good for one is good for all. And it's stupidity. And anybody that thinks like a socialist is an idiot. But you know where they are? In America. Because this is the only place, because socialist countries will not let you bash their country. You see the irony in this idiot? This is dumb. And they voted for him. But I guess must have been watching TV that day when your boy came up and told people, stupid is as stupid does.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth has got you covered. With free tickets, Truth Nation, to the world's largest outdoor festival. Tune into The Truth all week and listen for your cue to call and a chance to win an 18-pack of tickets to Summerfest.
Benjamin, I know you lying.
No, Juice, you heard that right. It's an 18-pack of tickets so your friends and family can enjoy Summerfest on us. So stay tapped into The Truth so you do not miss your chance to enjoy the biggest party on the lakefront. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
What's up, Truth Nation? Come celebrate the grand opening of Tsunami Express Car Wash in New Berlin with Jammin' with Juice. We will be broadcasting live Friday, June 27th from 7 to 9 a.m. at 15301 West Coffee Road in New Berlin. Come meet me, your girl Noni Juice, and my lovely co-star Benjamin as we help you get right for the weekend. That's Tsunami Express Car Wash, Friday, June 27th at 7 a.m. We hope to see you there. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at soundidouttogether.org. That's soundidouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A former Racine School staff member is headed to jail for sexually assaulting 2 students. Jamal Sanders, who worked at 21st Century Preparatory School, was sentenced Monday to 9 months in county jail and 3 years probation. Prosecutors say he inappropriately touched 2 12-year-old girls last year. He originally faced more serious charges but took a plea deal earlier this year, admitting to lesser counts of sexual assault and child abuse. He'll be allowed work release while serving his sentence. Milwaukee Public Schools has a new budget for next year. The school board Tuesday night approved the $1.5 billion spending plan for 2026. 2 board members initially voted against the budget plan, but changed their votes when the board's clerk noted that without their support, the budget would fail to pass. MPS Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casilia says more work will be done on the budget this fall.
We will come back in October again, which will give us more time to do additional work, see if there is additional resources that we can put into the budget. We've really taken into account as much listening as we could within the time frame that we had to put this budget together.
New legislation hopes to make Wisconsin a more attractive place for out-of-state residents to move to. A bill circulating in Madison would establish grants for talent recruitment programs to incentivize households from outside the state to relocate to Wisconsin. Republicans like Representative David Armstrong say the state's workforce retention issue is too big to ignore.
The latest numbers that I've seen show us with about a 200,000 person decrease in the state of Wisconsin over the next 20 years.
The program's source of funding remains in question. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Notice I said truth, any. You know, it's African-American vernacular, you know, any afternoon versus in the afternoon. Right. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. And because I've been remiss, I'm going to check the talk and text line because, well, you know, I've been avoiding. Chauncey say, let them rot. JD say, I keep Sun Tzu in the living room. You got people fighting coming in your house or something? You ready for people to come? Okay. All right. Fawn say, Al mad at the world. Okay, we're not going to read that. White Widow said, that's what I say about Milwaukee. You don't like it here. Move. Yep. So very true. I think what happens with Milwaukee is that people don't recognize the jewel they have here. They don't recognize all the great things because all they see on the news is the negative. That's all they see. And when that's all the news wants you to do is see the negative, and that's all you see, well, yeah. And then they're constantly showing stuff. Road rage. 2024 year to date, 0 homicides, 12 non-fatal shootings. 2025, 2 homicides, 11 non-fatal shootings. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Let me go check my talk and text. In New York, there needs to be some sort of affordable housing. Right, but you can't live everywhere. It's not your right to own a house. When Clinton said that, I thought he was stupid. That's a stupid statement. The statement was stupid, not him. And that's what I'm talking about. What you're saying is stupid. You may not be a stupid person, but like me, you can say stupid stuff. That was stupid. Like, how do you say you want to take from people who went out and built a... They were talking to a guy who was a hedge fund manager, and he was a billionaire. Oh, my God, that's terrible. You're rich, and you're one of those. And he said, time out. I grew up in the projects. My mother was on welfare in a single-parent household. I started my company in my 20s and built it over the next X amount of years and built it up to what it is. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can at least try. But you're telling me that I'm trash now because I work hard. Like, listen to what you're saying. Because you work hard and you're successful. And then they realize it's exactly what I said in the open. Socialists are haters. They don't like other people having what they don't have. They're lazy, they're shiftless, and they don't want to do anything. I just want to take it for everybody else because it's bad that you started a corporation. A group of people got together and started Northwestern Mutual. That's why it's a multi-billion-dollar company today. That's bad. Wow, are you serious? Is everything perfect? No. Socialism definitely isn't perfect because it has never, ever, ever survived. And if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result, it's called insanity. History is on my side. Data is on my side. The markets are on my side. Everything. Like at some point, well, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that because the last, 10, 15 countries that did that, yeah, they went under. Well, you're going to do it anyway. Oh, okay. You just can't do it here. Our Social Security system has created, for people who take advantage of it, laziness. Notice I said people that take advantage of it, not the people that need it, not the people that look forward to it, because we have to take care of people, because that is our obligation as human beings. Whether you believe in a democracy, democratic republic, socialism, communism, whatever, we have to take care of people. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about giving people a helping hand, Social Security, disability, those things. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones that take advantage of those. People that shouldn't be on it but are on it anyway. People that are still getting checks from parents who died 2 years ago because they refused to report the fact that they died. Even though the death certificate is there, they're waiting to marry up the death certificate and the form that says, hey, my mother, my father died, you can stop paying them payments. And they keep taking pay. Those are the people I'm talking about. When you create an underclass of people that live off the fat, they get lazy. That's why some kids of rich people are lazy. They don't make their kids build it from the ground up. And it's unfortunate, but we actually think that is the way. And it's been proven it's not the way. I will show you every single thing I have. Every company I built, every company I worked with, everything I did, every book I wrote, every dissertation, article, everything. Show you how to do it. Here's the outline. Do it yourself, but you got to do it yourself. Because when you do it yourself and you get that self-confidence, that when you win once, when you struggle through and make it, you'll realize you can do it again. You can duplicate it. But why do that when somebody will just give it to me? I have no problem with affordable housing as long as you take care of it. If you're not going to take care of it, you need to leave. They got the same, listen, this is a class issue. This has nothing to do with black, white, Hispanic, or Asian, because they got, you ever been to, you hear what happened in Janesville? Right? Some murder, suicide, and somebody else died today. Like, there's stuff going on all over the world, and we just don't hear about it. We just talk about Milwaukee. We talk about the north side. Meanwhile, suburbs got shootings. Suburbs got domestic violence. Suburbs got way more drugs. We just, but those news people live there. I'm not going to report about my neighbor. I'm not going. Janesville, I guess, was far enough away. So they just kind of, let it go. There does need to be some affordable housing in New York. It just can't be in Manhattan because you can't afford Manhattan. Put it where you can actually afford it. People have a right to live where they want to live, right? As long as you can afford it. But when you remove the ability for people to make money, your real estate is going to go down. And we've proven it here in the city of Milwaukee. We've proven it in Chicago, New York, LA. When the government takes over real estate, they're terrible. Because they're not efficient. Government is not made to be efficient. That's why all the cops and all the firefighters get paid the same amount. All the clerks and all the directors all get paid the same amount. You got to wait for everything. Why? Because there's no incentive. In business, there's an incentive. So if I'm going to give you affordable housing, I'm going to say this affordable housing costs $1,000 a month. And we're going to subsidize it. We're going to give you an extra $200 a month. We'll give you more if you get a job. And the more you do, here's what we'll do. If you get a better paying job, educate yourself and grow. Notice I didn't say go to school, but I said educate yourself and grow. Here's what we'll do. We'll find you the $2,000, $2,500 apartment, and we'll subsidize that too. But we'll help you. But you got to have some skin in the game. The problem with socialism, only one group has skin in the game. People they perceive as being rich. And so the problem of it, as I've said before, is in socialism, everybody's equal. Except some people are more equal than others. And those that are in leadership in socialism always get rich, always have money in other places, and always take advantage of those that are beneath them. You create this Politburo that just kind of, we got you, right? Sounds like the Democratic Party, right? We got you. Doing worse today than you were 10 years ago. But we got you. Oh, okay. Sounds like the Republican Party. We invite you in. Yeah, but you got to follow our rules. You got to follow our playbook. We don't want to hear anything about you being black. We don't hear about anything about you being Hispanic or Asian. We got to play by our rules. Because, we know better, right? Because it's us. We know better. It's unfortunate. Mr. Medee said, unfortunately, America doesn't want middle class anymore. Says who? Like, who told you that? Who told you that? The CEO of Lowe's was clear. Stay close to the register. Stay close to customer service. You will always have a job. AI can't do what? AI can't put your computer. It can't install your computer, even though you have AI on it. It can't make your computer. Can't install a toilet, a sink, rebuild a kitchen, cut your lawn. Can't do any of that. Because those are the jobs that are going to always. Things that service customers. Now, if you're doing finance, they still need somebody to input the numbers. Once they input the numbers, they can, generate all of my spreadsheets. They can generate my 5 statements, and I'm good. So, I don't know. Let me take this call before I do my top 5 at 5. Security Mike, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, I'm all right, Dr. Ken. Hey, what I was going to say is that I guess New York want to go with a younger Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
Because that's what the guy is.
Yep.
And Como, I think they kicked him to the curb for all that sexual harassment crap.
But think about this. Think about this. You got a guy that will destroy the entire city of New York by causing all those people and all those corporations to move out and leave you with middle-class people who got to foot the bill now versus a guy who got accused of sexual harassment and run out of office.
Back when Bernie was running, there was a lot of the young people was riding his coattails.
But when you're lazy and you don't want to work, that's what you do. That's what you do.
Well, man, it's so frustrating right now. I think they're getting desperate. They're tired of what Trump doing. The man just got us in another war with Iran. And
we bombed once and we're done. Like, when did we go to war? Time out. When did we go to war? When did we go to war? We dropped a series of bombs and it was over.
He was going to end everything. He said he was going to end these wars.
No, he didn't.
And they're still going on.
No, he didn't. He said, no, he didn't. He said, I'm going to end. No, he didn't. Stop.
He said Putin is buddy.
Okay, I'm going to put you on hold because he's not going to stop talking. He said, I'm going to end wars. However, if they don't stop, we're going to bomb them. So he said that rolling in. He said that in office. He said when he got elected, he told you that up front. I'm just saying. They asked Obama the same thing. What did he say? Hey, I believe in peace. Gave him the Nobel Peace Prize, 8-9 months into office? And when they found Osama bin Laden, he went and killed him. Shot him, shot his bodyguard, killed his wife, wiped him off the face of the earth. That's the guy that don't want war? That's the guy that don't want to kill people? That's the guy of peace? I'm saying there are things as a president that you have to do. And whether or not you like the person or not is completely and totally irrelevant. Same idiotic Republicans went after Obama for killing Osama bin Laden. But had a Republican president done it, they'd have been like, oh, that's great, you killed him. Stupidity. Bottom line, I don't like to fight, but if you come at me, I'm going to fight you. And that's just how life is. Nothing is absolute. You don't have to support the presidency or who's president to support the president or their actions. Separate those two because I'll keep you emotional and keep you upset. All right, Security Mike, what you got?
I would just say that's the route we going, man, because they're getting tired of what Trump doing.
So now you can tell the future.
No, I'm just saying, if you seen what happened today with this dude, this socialist cat like a Bernie Sanders winning this. And they said, I think the way things are going,
that dude crazy.
We're going to see a different change.
No, we're not.
Because it's chaos with Trump.
No, we're not.
Every day is something.
We're not going to see it. You can talk all you want. Listen. If that were the case, Bernie Sanders would be president. He's not.
Democrats are never going to. Now
they are not going to let that happen.
It's a much younger cat.
That's New York.
Right,
they're crazy in New York.
We'll see, man.
All right,
we'll see, man. Because I'm saying Trump is fucking up.
All right, we got it. All right. Well, you got his name, so yeah. 833-212-1017 is the number. Curly Q said, Ken, you like to fight. We listen daily. You just call it being contrary, but it's a dang fight. Oh, I know, especially when I hear stuff that I'm not supposed to hear. Especially when I'm like, did they just say that? Like, are you kidding? And the bottom line is when you haven't been alive long enough to understand the negative repercussions of that, you support things that sound good. And it tickles your ear and you go, oh, yeah, that sounds great. If you read, I'm telling you, if you read the Communist Manifesto, if you read Mein Kampf, you will think it is the best document in the world. You know what's missing? People, behavior, the human condition, character, responsibility. And when you start to infuse those into it, people rise up. Historically, in every culture, the issue has always been there was no leader. And when there's no leader, havoc ensues. And somebody comes in and goes, oh, I'll take care of it. And they lie to everybody. And they don't take care of it. And that's exactly what happened in Russia. Same thing happened in Cuba, Central America, South America. It's just, but when you don't understand your history because you only listen to what other people tell you and it sounds good, or people tell you this is the right way, that's what you do. We all have to be autodidactic. We have to be self-learners. We have to consciously read and listen to the opposite of what we believe so that we can balance, is this accurate information? And if it's not, challenge it. But don't just go on, well, my mother told me I should vote Democrat my whole life, so I'm voting Democrat. My father told me I should vote Republican my whole life, so I'm voting Republican. Dumb. Okay, it's not dumb, it's stupid. I'm just saying.
Number 5.
From CBS 58, the Wisconsin Supreme Court, this time, right? So we got Governor Evers won, Wisconsin legislature won. Last time Evers won, well, a unanimous Wisconsin Supreme Court, which is a liberal court, handed a victory to Republican-controlled legislature today in a power struggle with Democratic Governor Tony Evers reigning in the governor's expansive veto powers. In court, in a ruling where the 4 liberal justices joined the 3 conservatives, struck down Evers' partial veto of a Republican bill in a case that tested both the limits of his veto power and the legislature's ability to exert influence by controlling funding. The court also ruled that the legislature can put money for certain state programs into an emergency fund under the control of its budget committee, and Evers had argued such a move was unconstitutional. So Evers says everything is unconstitutional when he doesn't like it. Clearly, he doesn't read the Constitution. He doesn't understand legislature because he was at DPI. But the bottom line is that legislatures dictate budgets. The Congress dictates the budget of the United States. Does that make sense? School board just passed a $1.5 billion budget. What did they have to do? Go to those who legislate, the school board of school directors, and do what? Vote, because that's what they do. The ruling will likely result in the legislature crafting the bill and other spending bills in similar ways to get around Evers' partial vetoes and to have a greater control over spending, because that is what legislatures do all over the country. The ruling against Evers comes after the court earlier this year upheld Evers' partial veto that locked in a school funding increase for 400 years. That he was actually able to do, which was within his power as governor. The court last year issued a ruling that reined in some power of the legislature's budget committee, while this ruling went the other way. And so what happens is the budget committee is not the legislature. So the budget committee can only submit it. The legislature can change it. Like you don't get to have a committee make a decision for an entire legislature. Evers, in his 7th year as governor, has frequently clashed with the legislature and has often used his broad veto power to kill their proposals. Republican lawmakers have tried to take control away from the governor's office by placing money to fund certain programs and state agencies and the emergency fund controlled by the legislature's budget committee. That gives the legislature significant influence over that funding and the implementation of certain programs within the executive branch. Evers argued that the legislature is trying to limit its partial veto power and illegally control how the executive branch spends money. Dude, like that's their job. That's like telling your mother she's trying to control how much allowance you get. That's their job. Supreme Court today sided with the legislature. It ruled that Evers improperly used his partial veto on a bill that detailed the plan for spending on new literacy programs designed to improve K-12 student reading performance. The court also sided with the legislature and said the budget committee can legally put money into an emergency fund to be distributed later. That is what has been done with the $50 million for the literacy program. Evers and Republican lawmakers, of course, didn't return phone calls or comment. How much money are we going to put into literacy? The fact that kids aren't learning has nothing to do with how much money. They're not going to school and there are social issues that are going on. When we fix those, they'll be there to learn. If we don't fix those, well, they won't learn.
Number 4.
Also from CBS 58, I talked about it earlier, Janesville police say the 4th victim of a shooting at Aspen Square Apartments has died at a medical facility. 3 people were found dead and another critically injured who just passed away in an apartment in Janesville this past Tuesday. According to a report from WISC, just after 11 a.m., police were called to the Aspen Square Apartments, 2600 block of North Pontiac Drive, for a report of a domestic violence, family trouble, family problem, followed by a 911 call for shots fired. Janesville Police Department said in a news conference yesterday, upon arrival to the scene, located 3 deceased adults who'd been shot, and the 4th one, who just passed away, was in critical condition. Residents were asked to avoid the area and no threat to the public and all that. So, is it me or is domestic violence on the rise? It seems to be on the rise.
Number 3.
From WISN.com, the man accused of framing an undocumented immigrant with a fake Trump assassination threat actually disrupted the Milwaukee court. During the hearing, Judge Christy Yang warned Demetric Scott about his behavior, threatening to remove him from court after an outburst. Yang said, Mr. Scott, given your last outburst, I'll warn you that I will not tolerate your attempt to turn court hearings into a circus in order to maintain calm quorum. I think she probably said decorum, but anyway. His attorney, Robert Hampton, withdrew from the case, citing a conflict of interest discovered during a public defender's office review. The outburst led to the cancellation of Scott's 2 trial dates in July while he seeks new representation. Scott faces witness intimidation and identity theft charges. Prosecutors allege Scott robbed Ramon Morales Reyes in 2023, then impersonated him in a letter threatening to kill President Trump. Court documents show Scott admitted fabricating the threat to get Morales Reyes deported and prevent him from testifying about the robbery. That's a lot. Depending on what your past was, you might even got probation, dude. Now, you think he's not going to jail? I kind of think he's going to jail.
Number 2.
Also from WISN.com, the school board, you heard it with Rhea Riley in the news. Milwaukee Public School Board unanimously approved a $1.5 billion budget proposal yesterday for the next school year, though 2 board members initially voted it down. Directors Daryl Jackson and Mimi Reza at first voted against the budget, citing lingering concerns about the $240 million referendum passed by the community in 2024. The pair changed their minds after Superintendent Brenda Caselius promised to keep working with the community to update the proposal until the district's October deadline. Jackson said, I'm very hesitant on how we're spending our money, or better yet, how we're asking for more money. Caselius said, we've really taken into account as much listening as we could within the time frame that we had to put this budget together. I share your same reservations. I want an equitable budget. The board is also waiting to see how much funding the district will receive from state lawmakers before then. Budget as it stands includes salary increases for all staff, 35 new special education positions, and the creation of a new Office of Families, Communities, and Partnerships. Caselius also mentioned that $16 million would be allocated for lead cleanup. Caselius told the board also last night before the vote that her goal is to centralize the district's budget. She said principals will retain some budgeting power over their own schools, but much of the budget decisions will come from her central office. Caselius said the change will ensure all schools have access to the same resources. She said, what I saw right away is that it's inconsistent across our schools, and that's not acceptable. That's great. I think that is a great step in the right direction. Speaking of the school board.
Number 1.
This from Fox6Now.com. Prosecutors have not charged him, but a search warrant was obtained by Fox 6 News that shows the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office investigating a member of the MPS School Board of Directors for misconduct in office. So, Daryl Jackson, who we just mentioned, hasn't been charged, but a search warrant was filed in August of 2024, was just unsealed by the court. It shows investigators believe Jackson had not been living inside the district he was elected to represent. Investigators asked the judge to subpoena his phone records, including time on tower data, to pinpoint the phone's location. The reason? They suspect Jackson lived near 100th and Lisbon as written on his campaign finance forms. That address is outside the district where voters elected him to serve, District 3. So per Milwaukee Election Commission, it is perfectly legal to do that until the term starts. Then you must live in the district or it can constitute misconduct in public office. Now, prosecutors brought this same charge against Aisha Carr in 2024. So Fox 6 News asked Jackson about the search warrant before the meeting yesterday. Sam Kramer from Fox 6 said, do you have any comment on the investigation into you for misconduct? And he said, no, nothing right now. I'm running late right now, Jackson replied. Kramer then asked, okay, you're aware of it though? Yeah. Okay, no comment on it. Are you living in your district now? He said, I've always lived in my district. Always? Well, the search warrant unsealed doesn't say that. Hey, Mr. Reporter, it's irrelevant what a search warrant says. You actually need proof. Just because somebody made a complaint and they're investigating it. But you're actually treating him like he's guilty already. It's the media. Well, between April 2023 and August 2024, investigators say they only saw Jackson's SUV at the outside the district address, never near 50th and Hadley, where he told MPS he lived inside the district. Voting records show Jackson cast his ballot during that same time frame at a poll corresponding with the previous address. The Election Commission tells Fox 6 News it does not have the statutory responsibility to check elected officials' addresses. If it receives a complaint, it's sent to the DA's office. And they're checking, and this is from last year. And if they find out that he did it, they'll charge him with misconduct in public office. And if they have the proper evidence, he'll be found guilty and get sentenced. Because everybody's held to the same standard. Now, here's my question. Why do they keep going after black ones? Anybody like notice that? I have an anonymous complaint. See, here's the thing. I can't say that word. If you got it, you should be able to show it. You know, like your name, your address. I got a problem with X. X did this, and I'm reporting him to the police. Here's my name. Here's my address, my phone number, date of birth. Here you go. Because it was me. Especially if you're an elected official. Because eventually, that person's going to have to get outed. Oh, we got an anonymous tip. No, we ain't doing that. I want an order to appear. I want this person to come in court. If I'm going to be accused, I want that person in court, look at me in the face, and accuse me. So now I got to go find the unsealed warrant so I can see who's in it. So is this what reporters do now? They do the gotcha thing? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we just go after people. It's pitiful. It's really, really pitiful. And by the way, when we come back, we're going to be talking about my favorite sport, baseball.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, this is the legendary Home Blow. Hoping you and your family will join me at the 31st annual Home Blow birthday party for the kids this Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. at the Fitzsimmons Boys and Girls Club. It's going to be an afternoon of free food, Kool-Aid, the red kind, and fun for the kids. This celebration is for kids 2 to 13 years old, and admission is absolutely free. It's my 31st annual Home Blow birthday party for the kids this Saturday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, visit the Homer Blow Foundation Inc. Facebook page.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you're so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You don't even know the music. He's sitting there rocking, but he don't really know because he wasn't even alive when it came out. 833-212-1017. He's like, oh, this is great music. Oh, hush. You wasn't even alive. So what's the song that's from?
It's from a band that you don't want me to play.
What's the original song?
All I know is the George Clinton
It's
song.
not a George Clinton song.
Oh, it's not?
George Clinton was in the band, but what's the name of the band?
Oh, the Funkadelics?
Yes.
Yeah, I know my music, my man.
Well, I wouldn't say you know your music.
Oh, yes.
Because if you knew your music, you would have said, when I asked you the band, you would have said Funkadelic.
Oh, I just think of
go.
George Clinton, you know, he's the lead singer.
No, go. No, let's go. Let's go. X is always trying to do that. He always trying to do that. 833, even though your music's been good today. 833-212-1017 is the number. Question. Do you like sport? You played what, football?
Football, basketball.
Well, you tried to play football. You tried to play basketball. Okay.
I don't know about that.
Well, you're not a professional, are you?
Well, yeah,
Well, then
but
you tried.
I never was.
But then you tried. Or maybe you couldn't be.
Injuries.
So, excuses. Excuses. Hey, you want to fight? You want to... Saved by the phone. 833-212. Yeah, we're just being silly. It's Wednesday. So, maybe I am just hard on people, but at least I'm consistent, right? Arizona Diamondbacks star second baseman Ketel Marte was in tears during a pitching change in the seventh inning of the team's 4-1 win over Chicago White Sox. So Marte, or M-A-R-T-E, 31, was left in tears after a fan yelled derogatory comments about his late mother, El Padilla Valdez, who died in a car crash in the Dominican Republic in 2017. Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo consoled the tearful Marte on the mound and put his arm around him during the pitching exchange. Lovullo said he heard what the fans said towards him, and a Diamondbacks spokesperson told the Arizona Republic that Lovullo, L-O-V-U-L-L-O, and bench coach Jeff Bannis asked for the person to be removed from the game. It's a terrible moment. Fans are nasty. Fans go too far. Isn't this kind of the same thing that happened when the Bucks lost and Halliburton's dad was talking trash? Like, some of the stuff he said to Giannis, I think the average person would have punched him in the face. I'm just saying. Average person would have punched him in the face. Giannis has hundreds of millions of dollars he would like blow out the door or just shred it because this person would take it all. And then his old man was what? Booted for the rest of the series. Should have been booted for life. You can't do those things. And now look at what happened to Halliburton. Last game, tears his Achilles, his team loses. Is that karma? I don't know. Is that karma? So, I say yes. I say too bad. But that's the mean part of me. I think it's unfortunate he tore his Achilles and, got to do something about that. 833-212-1017 is the number. Ray, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Yeah, how you doing today, Dr. Ken?
I'm good.
Good. Hey, I was just calling. You said that baseball was one of your favorite sports.
Yes, it is.
And I was just calling because I go to the games here from time to time, and one of the brothers that worked there one time, we were going up in the elevator, and he was telling me and people I was with that he was kind of like surprised to see us because he said it's not a lot of us that go to the games here, and African Americans. And when you go in there, you definitely do notice that we're not there. And I just wanted to say it's a good time when you go, food and just having a good time, and just wondering why we don't go, why we're not there.
Baseball doesn't do a really good job at promoting itself and promoting players. and promoting non-white players. Or just promoting players, period. It doesn't, race at that point is irrelevant. Baseball is one of those where if you can play, you're going to stand out. And if you can't play, you're not. It's not like a basketball team where I can, put you in when, we're up 20 points. They can't do that in baseball. One hit, one flop, boop, and you can score 4 runs, and you're losing now. So you got to be the best of the best.
Okay. Well, I just want to let people know that it is very nice when you go, and sometimes if people don't have anything to do, or they should just check it out. Bring your family and check it out. It's not real expensive. You can get tickets that are fairly cheap, and that you can bring a family and go and have a good time. That's all I wanted to say. All
right. Well, thank you much.
Thank you. You have a good rest of your day.
You too. Head out with 101.7 The Truth Traffic. Here's Debbie Lazica.
We've got southbound on 43 backing up from Hampton, pretty much solid all the way down to the Marquette. Still very heavy all the way down to the KK River once you get through the Marquette. Northbound slowing down over the high-rise bridge all the way up to Keith. Westbound 94, just a brutal ride from about 2nd Street all the way through the Marquette to about Calhoun. Then you're back on the brakes just before Barker Road, and that will take you all the way to about Highway 164 with those delays. On the eastbound side, we got delays from Highway 16 pretty much all the way to about Sunny Slope Road, back on the brakes from the Zoo through the Marquette interchange to about 27th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, scattered showers and storms, patchy fog with a low of 63. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm and humid, a chance for showers and storms, a high of 82. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Truth Nation, you already know I got to put you on the latest hookups at Nick Avani's. Summer is here, and Nick Avani's is bringing all the heat all month long with 50% off select items during June. Whether you're leveling up your wardrobe or just want to turn heads wherever you go, they've got you covered with top-tier fashion. Suits, shirts, ties, shoes, and more. It's all about that fresh look and confident vibe, and Nick Avani's is making sure you step out feeling like $1 million. Pull up to Nick Avani's on the 2nd floor of Mayfair Mall or shop online anytime at nickavanis.com.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, And remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. That was some great advice from Ray. So, you're a socialist guy. Everybody's talking about he's a liberal. No, he's a socialist. And many of his ideas won't fly because you need a legislature to pass them. Nobody in New York is going to say, you know what, we're going to destroy all of the real estate. We're going to destroy and run all the companies and business out of here so that we can have socialism, because there'll be nobody to pay for it. Stupidity. They promise, but he can never deliver. Why? Because he's in the executive branch. And we just saw in the state of Wisconsin, like in every other state, in every city, the legislature handles the money. And nobody in their right mind in New York City Council is going to give money to somebody to give to somebody else so they can lay around and do nothing. They're not. And if that's a person that you want to vote for, I don't know. I got a ticket to Russia.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What's up, Truth Nation? Come celebrate the grand opening of Tsunami Express Car Wash in New Berlin with Jammin' with Juice. We will be broadcasting live Friday, June 27th from 7 to 9 a.m. at 15301 West Coffee Road in New Berlin. Come meet me, your girl Noni Juice, and my lovely co-star Ben Jammin' as we help you get right for the weekend. That's Tsunami Express Car Wash, Friday, June 27th at 7 a.m. We hope to see you there. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Ready for more fun? More friendships? More adventures?
Then it's time to become a Girl Scout. Explore the outdoors, meet forever friends, and make a difference in your community. Sign up for our extended year membership today. Girls can join for $98 and adults for $42. Start in April and enjoy up to 5 extra months of fun. The extended year membership is April 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026, followed by a regular membership year. So what are you waiting for? Join us and be a Girl Scout.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Yes, one of them days. finally made it to the end. Hey, by the way, Summerfest is back, and we're going to be giving out tickets, so make sure you listen every day. We're going to have a queue each day. If you don't listen, then you don't win. But if you do listen, you do win. And if you call and you're the lucky caller, you get an 18-pack of tickets. 18 tickets to go see the biggest party on the lake, courtesy of 101.7 The Truth. Summerfest, presented by our founding partners, American Family Insurance. So make sure y'all hang out so you can see. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. The analysis is coming up tonight. Then you'll get Tori Lowe. And then you go on and on and on, because you're not going to turn your radio off. You're going to keep it right here. And then you'll get me in 22 hours. Hey, y'all, God bless. Take care. X, appreciate you. I'm out.
Be quiet.